comfortable living in a house that someone else had the key to, or the windows didn't quite close all the way? Would you live there and trust it with your safety? Now let's say the internet is that house. Not to say you shouldn't go there, but you should think before you put all your valuables and information out there. Today I'll be talking about cybersecurity, the threat it poses, and the actions we can take in our daily lives to mitigate those risks. We all interact with the internet every day, at work, at home, and on the go. It is important to know the right protocol to keep your family and your money safe. As a network administration and engineering student, I hear a lot about the importance of cybersecurity, and I've seen firsthand what some of these humans and devices are capable of. I hope to cover the concept of cybersecurity, the potential risks, and the proper action everybody should take to keep themselves and their money safe. The scope of cybersecurity evolves as fast as the capacities of computing, and we can think of it as a set of techniques to protect secrecy, integrity, and availability of computer systems around the world. According to Forbes, the global cybersecurity market is expected to reach $170 billion by 2020. The growing importance of cybersecurity is due to the reliance on computer systems, the internet, wireless networks such as Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and smart devices like TVs and phones. Due to its complexity, both in terms of politics and technologies, it is one of the major contemporary challenges of the world today. To understand cybersecurity, we have to understand the vulnerabilities and the different types of attacks. A vulnerability is a flaw or weakness in a system's design and implementation that could be exploited to violate the system's security. The different types of attacks, which are from getcybersafe.canada, are phishing attacks, which is the attempt to gain sensitive information from a user, usually trying to get credit card details, passwords, and usernames. It's usually used in conjunction with spoofing, which is impersonating another person through email address, usually on email. Both these attacks happen quite often through emails. And spoofing uses to spread malware, bypass access controls. And a DDoS attack, or a direct denial of service attack, which people flood a certain network with useless data in an attempt to slow down or shut down that particular network. It can be used in protests and just sort of malicious attacks. So now we have a general idea of what cybersecurity is and some of the threats. What are some of the things we can keep aware of regarding our personal information? Everybody here uses a bank, whether it be a big one or a small credit union. They all have an online component that we most likely use. Well, in an article written by Paige Schaefer of ITSP magazine, she states, financial services firms fall victim to cybersecurity attacks 300 times more likely than the average business. Not surprisingly, cyber criminals target financial websites with the hopes of collecting enough personal information to access these accounts. According to an article written by Pierre U.S. Hetson, Chief Executive Financial Officer of Storm Shield, the principal aim of these attacks is to steal personal information. This is your information. While your money may be insured by the FDIC, your personal information is not. And where does your personal information come into play the most? Is on Facebook. Privacy is something that Facebook has upended in the past decade, and people around the world post sensitive personal information for everybody to see. Using Facebook is okay, but you must know that not everyone on the site is your friend, and also that the company of Facebook might not be your friend either. They sell your data to different companies with no concern of how they may use it. According to an article written on Identity Guard, one of the largest identity protection services in our country, one of the major cybersecurity problems people face today is a simple lack of awareness. So now that we're aware, what else can we do? One of the most important things we can do is practice good password security. I'm assuming most of you here have had one or two different passwords, and we have used it for our whole life. While that's not necessarily a bad thing, we should increase the security on these passwords and hopefully modify it and keep changing it regularly. Some of the good practices of password security are having longer passwords and using passphrases, special characters, just these set right here. You can use as many as you want. And two-factor authentication, which doubles your security measures, usually through a fingerprint or through a secondary device that is known to be tied to you. and you should change your password every 90 days. In a study done by Troy Hunt in 2018, he analyzed a data breach that contained 2,232,284 clear text passwords. In other words, they weren't encrypted. And he found that 86% of these passwords were bad passwords and had been known as bad passwords. Types of bad passwords are just QWERTY, 1234, password, and things like that. And cybercriminals and computers keep a record of every password that are in these data breaches and use it to inform their next attack. So if your password's in there, it's most likely to get tried again, and not good for you. While having a strong password is important, one of the main attack avenues today is email. In a blog written by Eaton Katz entitled What Every Business Needs to Know, he stated that the average cost of a phishing attack for a mid-sized company is $1.6 million. And that's, let's go. The best defense against these email phishing attacks is to have an educated person opening the emails. And common things to know are to never open unexpected attachments from anybody, never click unexpected links, and ensure that the email address matches the person you are talking to, or that you think you are talking to. Even in this past week where I work at CBE, somebody had sent an email posing as our CEO and asking for $200 in Google Play gift cards, and nobody responded to them, and they were reported immediately because we have pretty good awareness on the subject. The best defense against email phishing attacks is to have an educated person opening the emails. These things, along with a good password security, ensure that we can all stay safe on the internet. Hopefully today, I have helped us all become a little bit more aware of the threat that is cybersecurity. After today, we should all be a little bit more knowledgeable going out on the web and practicing good personal information etiquette, password security, and email security. Our house with open windows just became a little bit stronger, and I hope we can save many hassles and hardships, and don't forget about the money. Thank you.
Yay, James. Everybody should clap.